Hi and welcome to Wellness Wednesday Wellbeing Wisdom Special Edition Global Wellness episode. I'm Teresa Jande from Tree Heart Art Design Authentic or Love Authentic Me. Welcome to this special edition that was recorded and interviews during lockdown 2020. My special thanks to those that took part in this special collaboration. Their advice now is just as relevant as it was then.
Hello everyone, my name is Liz Goodfellow and welcome to a special edition of COVID-19 Wellness Wednesdays, where I'm just going to be sharing some general tips and advice for people at this time who are perhaps juggling running their businesses and home life, whether that's looking after your children, homeschooling, or juggling just working from home with other demands. So my business, I'm a partner in Fit for Business, and I co-founded it with Danielle Early Consultancy. And our business is all about supporting female entrepreneurs and working women to network, learn and grow. And the learning is both personal and professional development, and we run courses, masterclasses and special events to bring together like-minded women to develop ourselves from the inside out and to realise success, whatever that means for you. So during this interesting, challenging time, some general tips and advice that I think I can share that I've been trying to implement in my life is, first of all, try to spend time with your tribe. Try to find a business community that supports you, that nurtures you, that promotes you. And there are so many different networking groups out there. Take this time, if you can, to explore them. Get to know people, find out if it's the type of community that you want to be a part of. And if it is, then spend time online and virtually nurturing those relationships, because they are going to be there to support you in your business journey and you can support them. Second of all, try to promote other people as much as possible, and you can simply do this by sharing their posts on social media, by commenting on those posts. People whose services or products or values that resonate with yours, promote them, celebrate them, because if we can all support each other, then there's plenty of room for us all to grow. And what you put out into the universe, I find, generally comes back to you. So it's always really important to support other people and to be a real advocate of others. My next tip is really fundamental to my business, Fit for Business, and my own life. And that's about nurturing yourself, nurturing your fitness, your well-being. And what I mean by that is, to be our best selves, we need to be physically strong and mentally strong. We need to have resilience to keep going when things are challenging. And we need to be flexible. We need to be adaptable, both mentally and physically. So I really recommend prioritising exercise and movement every single day, whether that's going outside, walking, running, or doing some circuit training at home, some yoga at home. Everything can be found online, so you don't need to go out if you can't. But on your to-do list, put exercise and movement. It really does affect your whole mindset, and it makes you more productive. And productivity leads to taking those steps to achieving whatever it is you want to achieve. I also want to promote something called rest, which means retreat time, eat and exercise, sleep and treat time. Make sure that over your week you plan some retreat time for you, and that means getting away from everybody, whether that could be a bath, you shut away in your bathroom, or reading a book, or having a quiet space in your garden. Just some alone time to rejuvenate, to recover, if you like, from the constant stimulation of being in lockdown with family, if you are with other people, but also a break, a retreat from social media, because that can be exhausting too. I've already mentioned exercise for E, but eating, nutrition is fundamental to how you are going to function mentally and physically. Really be mindful of what you're putting into your body. Think of cause and effect. Whatever you put into your body has an effect on your body. So really consider the best quality nutrients that you can have every single day. The S in rest is for sleep. Consider, are you getting enough sleep in order to allow for the deep quality sleep and the REM sleep that our brains need to recalibrate, to reorganise everything that's gone on. If we don't have quality sleep, then everything is harder. It affects our mood, it affects our relationships, it affects our productivity, it affects our self-esteem and confidence. So make sure that you turn off social media at least 2 to 3 hours before it's your bedtime, and have a bedtime ritual. Slow down the pace of everything in the evening. Read, have a bath, do something, yoga, meditation, do something that's going to be a transition from the busy daily life into sleep and rest time. And finally, the T in rest is treat time. We all need to reward ourselves. It helps with our motivation. So what treats can you plan into your week that are going to make you feel good and special, but that are not going to detriment your health? So I'm not talking about alcohol or naughty food, although a little bit of dark chocolate that's really excellent quality, and a glass of good quality wine, absolutely fine. Everything in moderation. But yeah, plan in a treat time. Whatever it is that makes you feel special and good, plan that into your week. And finally, don't be too hard on yourselves. Don't set unachievable goals. Little steps help us to move forward. So just plan a few little steps, either a few little steps every week or one step a day that's moving you towards your vision of success. Thank you very much for listening. It was a great pleasure to be part of Wellness Wednesdays for Authentic Me and Teresa Jande. And if you'd like to find out more about Fit for Business, then look up my website, which is www.getfitforbusiness.co.uk. And I'm Liz Goodfellow. Take care.
I think getting up and being present every day, just because there's all this stuff going on around you and outside, don't stop. Don't think it's okay to have some days off. Definitely, having days off is so important. But get up, be present, get dressed, brush your teeth, brush your hair, put a nice top on, because a nice top's going to make you feel better than a pair of jogging bottoms and an old vest top.
Yeah.
And take care of yourself, because you need to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. And when this is all over and we're allowed back out, I already know I put on some weight in my tummy with those wines that I've been drinking. But when it's all over, you don't want to be stuck inside feeling rubbish about yourself. You want to be able to step outside into the world and carry on living life.
Yeah.
So look after yourself, definitely.
And if it's taught us anything, that it is important to make the most out of life.
I mean, I think it's been very, very difficult for all businesses, whether it's a sole trader through to corporate. I think it's been really difficult time, but I think you've just got to persevere. Time is of the essence. There's been a lot in the news about businesses going into administration and having massive financial difficulties, but you will get through the other side. If you work hard enough and focus enough, you will be able to get it through the other side. And I think that will be easier for the small local businesses to get through to the other side than it is for the big corporate companies to get there. But yeah, I do believe that is perseverance, obviously following the government guidelines, and yeah, you'll get there. We'll get there. Everybody will get there to the other side.
Okay, this one I'm going to add in, just a sneaky one here,
All right.
because I'm trying to get everyone to think about the future in a way. And what would be your vision where people have been at home? It's given them time to reflect, and there's lots of stuff obviously going on in the world that we've realised that actually that may not be working. So I've been trying to ask people, what would you have as your vision? What would you like to see in humanity, or changes that could happen in the future? That's quite a biggie to throw at you. So
Yeah, that is a big one. I think what I'd like to see is, and it's something that we have seen because of the situation, is people working together effectively and being productive. And I think if people are working together and being productive, then it could start to eliminate all these other issues that are coming out of, obviously coming out of COVID-19. We've now obviously got this situation of Black Lives Matter.
yeah,
The fact is, every single individual, it doesn't matter what religion, colour, creed, or where you're from, how old you are, we are all the same people, and we can work together as a team, and we can be effective, and we can make those changes. At the end of the day, we're all made in the same way.
yeah.
We just all have different lives.
It's Hannah here from The Nourished Body, and I am back with my 3 top tips for the season. So we are just about to move from spring into summer officially on the 20th of June. So that is known as summer solstice. And we want to be preparing the body in the lead up to that. And also once we're in summer, we want to be eating the right foods to support the body. So as a naturopathic nutritionist, I just wanted to take a minute or two of your time to share these tips with you today. So the first thing that you need to be concentrating on for summer is hydration. It's something that we need to be concentrating on all year long, but particularly when the weather is warmer, perhaps there's a little bit of alcohol in the air, we definitely want to be concentrating on hydration. So of course, one of the ways that we can do that is through drinking plenty of water. So make sure that you've got a really clean water source available to you. So whether that's filtered water, maybe you use a charcoal stick to filter your water. Maybe you can even get along to a spring. That's a lovely summer activity to do, and harvest your own spring water. But make sure that as soon as you're waking up in the morning that you're enjoying a big glass of fresh water, and that you have a bottle handy with you the whole day so you can keep hydrating all day long. We need to make sure that the body's got some electrolytes to help absorb that water into our cells as well. So a really good way to do that is just to add some fruit to your water. So maybe a slice of lemon, some strawberries, some watermelon, some cucumber. There's lots of choices there. We definitely want to be thinking about hydration through water, but also through the diet as well. So what kind of diet are you enjoying at the moment? Are you having highly hydrating foods, or are you having like cheese and biscuits, which is very dehydrating for the body, or pasta, which is dehydrating for the body? So we need to have this good balance. We actually want to be making sure we're having more hydrating foods than dehydrating foods. So some of the really nice hydrating foods for summer are things like watermelon, which got a really high water content, cucumbers. So you're feeling really hydrated. It's not difficult to swallow these foods down, whereas if you think about cheese and biscuits, you probably need, a big glass of water to help you wash that down. So the next thing that I want to talk to you about is bitter foods, because bitter foods are really good for the heart, and we're in the season of the heart. So summer rules the heart and the intestines, and bitter foods are really, really good for the heart. So my favourite bitter food is cacao. So if you're a chocolate fan like me, this is definitely a time to indulge on chocolate, but not necessarily commercial chocolate, but get a lovely raw cacao where you're making possibly like a cold chocolate drink for summer. You could put it into smoothies, you could put it into energy balls, you could put it into your breakfast even with your chia seeds. There's lots of lovely ways to be enjoying cacao over summer. Coffee is actually a really bitter food, so as long as you're not indulging in coffee too much, it has got lots of antioxidants on it, and as long as you're not like metabolizing that coffee in a way that's making you feel jittery. So you could enjoy green coffee, and green coffee is like unroasted, unprocessed coffee, so it doesn't quite give us the same taste that we're used to, but it's a lot healthier. Or if you feel good on coffee, then you can indulge in some of that as well. Maybe just hold the cream and sugar if you can. And then some other bitter foods are some of the leaves that are about at the moment. So things like rocket, endive leaves, chicory leaves. These are all really good to add to salads to bring that bitter flavour in. And the last thing that I'd love to talk to you about is red foods. So again, red foods are really good for the heart and supporting our bodies during the summer. So if we look at the kind of things that are in season, things like cherries and strawberries and raspberries, we could be enjoying tomatoes, red peppers, radishes, red onions. There's lots of red foods about at the moment that we can be enjoying, and they're very supportive for the body. The only types of people that wouldn't want to be enjoying too many of the red foods is if you're looking particularly red in your complexion, or you're feeling like you've got too much energy, you're quite ungrounded, you're almost bubbling over with energy, which is not a common complaint that I see with adults, to be honest. But there are some people who are not quite grounded enough. So if you are feeling like you've got those really red cheeks, or you're suffering from heart problems, then it may mean that you want to cut back on the red foods. But otherwise, summer is a great time to be embracing these red foods. So hydrating foods, bitter foods, red foods are all amazing things to enjoy in this season. So let me know how you get on.
Hi lovelies, so I'm going to share some wellness self-care tips for, I don't want to say lockdown, I'd rather call it looking in. So self-care tips for this looking inward period. And my tip is to invite you to move beyond the microcycle of 24 hours. We're so used to this cycle of wake, work, eat, sleep, repeat, and it being crammed into this 24-hour period that we're kind of out of tune with the wider world and nature around us. And we're even eking every last ounce of productivity out of 24 hours with artificial lighting so we can work into the wee hours of night. It's almost as though rest is a dirty word. You shouldn't rest because it's a sign of weakness. But I would like to say that rest is actually a time for restoration, to bring balance back to the system. And so I invite you to expand beyond the circadian rhythm of 24 hours and shift into the infradian rhythm of, say, a lunar cycle or a seasonal cycle, or the cycle of seasons over the course of a year. And you're going to see that there is also this ebb and flow of energy through those larger rhythms, those infradian rhythms. So the moon cycles, we kick off the moon cycle with the new moon phase. And this really is a time for new beginnings, time for sowing the seeds of intentions of what you want to achieve over the course of the 28 days-ish that it takes the moon to complete a cycle. Then we go into the first quarter phase of the moon, and this is a time for inspired action. This is when the growth and the work happens. It's quite an exciting time because you're so full of excitement and energy for the intentions that you've set and the goals that you want to achieve. Then we head into the full moon phase, and this is really a time of everything coming into fruition. Things are coming into bloom. You can stand back and see the efforts of your labour over the past couple of weeks from new moon to full moon, and you can start to give thanks for that. Then we head into the last quarter, and this is a time for rest and reflection, looking at what you've achieved, making adjustments to things that maybe didn't quite go to plan, or reflecting on the lessons that you've learnt during this lunar cycle, and really taking time to restore yourself so that you're ready for the start of the next cycle with the next new moon. And this flow of rebirth, growth, fruition, and I'm going to say death. I don't mean it in a morbid way. I mean death in the concept of completion, something coming to an end and being completed, ready for the rebirth of the next new cycle. And it really is a cycle of transmuting or transforming from one phase into the next continually, a cyclical cycle, a cyclical rhythm. And this is even reflected in the seasons. If you think about spring, resurgence, regrowth, things coming back into life. Everything is new and beginning to buzz again. And then we head into summer, and this is that time of growth. Things are in full bloom, things are coming to fruition. It's this song of summer that is just such a joyous thing. Then we head into autumn and we think of harvest, giving thanks, reaping the rewards of the things that we had sown in spring. And then we head into winter, and when we look at the land, and the land, it really is an indication of what we should also be doing. We look at the land and everything retracts. It goes into this rest. It's reserving its energy. It's not this doing mode. We've become human doings, and we need to tune back into being human beings and looking at the world around us, tuning into those rhythms and utilizing that so that we can navigate the highs and lows of those cycles. And I think you'll find when you start to tune into those rhythms, you will be able to circumvent the times when you feel maybe lower energy as we head towards, say, the end of the last quarter of the lunar phase, or when we're in that winter phase. You know that it's coming up, and you can start to prepare, just like the animals that prepare for hibernation. You watch I certainly do watch the squirrels in my garden gathering up nuts ready for that winter phase where they're going to be slowing down and things aren't going to be quite as abundant as they are in spring and summer. So there are some fabulous people doing work around the seasonal cycles. Teresa had interviewed Hannah Carr, who's a nutritionist, and I know she's big on honouring the foods that we should be eating during each season. There's yoga, seasonal yoga with Love Breathe Yoga with Katie. You can find me on Instagram, that's where I'm most active, and I've got my own website, which is keshonomi.com.